When local growers put great food on Tennessee tables, that's living green. Tonight on Live Green Tennessee, we take a night stroll at the Nashville Night Market. Then we check out Green Spaces and how this organization is fostering sustainability in Chattanooga. And finally, we visit a mobile pie stand in Knoxville. All this and more coming up next on Live Green Tennessee.
This program is brought to you in part by...
Behind every Pick Tennessee Products logo is a Tennessee farmer who brings you fresh, local food grown with the kind of pride that gets handed down through generations. From now through fall, you can find Tennessee fruits and vegetables on farms and at farmers markets near you. Find your Tennessee farmers at picktnproducts.org.
What makes our state unique? Find out on the new Tennessee Channel, a statewide initiative by your public television stations. Each program is created in Tennessee, about Tennessee, and broadcast in Tennessee.
The Tennessee Channel, Saturdays 6 to 10 p.m. Eastern and Sundays 2 to 6 p.m. Eastern, right here on your public television station.
Funding for this program is provided in part by the United States Department of Agriculture, providing leadership on food, agriculture, natural resources, and related issues based on sound public policy and efficient management.
Hello, I'm Melinda Kiefer, and I'm proud to bring you stories from across our great state on Live Green Tennessee. Once a month, Tennesseans flock to Nashville Night Market, where they are treated to fresh produce, live entertainment, and can even sip a glass of wine. Over the last couple of years, the numbers of shoppers and vendors has grown tremendously to make Night Market one of the best parties in Nashville. WCTE's Todd Gerald brings us this story.
Welcome to Night Market. Once a month, all of our farmers, artisans, merchants, and our restaurants and shops inside get together on a Friday night, and basically we have what is a Saturday market, but under the stars. We have the beautiful Capitol in the background. Night Market's been one of the most fun things ever. It kind of came out of the idea of me thinking about, okay, if I could shop any way possible, what would it be? And I could only imagine at night with a glass of wine in my hand. It's a very relaxed environment. People are swapping recipes. It's a special event in community and really growing local.
My name is Stephanie Waring, and I am the owner of Juice Nashville. My husband and I are here at the Nashville Night Market, and we're selling our fresh pressed raw juice. What makes us unique is that we are state of Tennessee's only raw pressed juicery. What that means is we press our juice fresh in the morning. We don't add water, we don't add sugar, we don't have preservatives. All you're getting are the fresh fruits and vegetables the way you're really supposed to have them. All of our produce that we use, we try to make sure that we secure it from Tennessee farmers first and foremost. However, because pineapples don't grow in Tennessee, there are a lot of times that we have to go outside and look for reputable, fresh sources for our produce. So you can find our juices right now in Nashville farmers markets. We come to the night market, which is fantastic. But then we also come to the daytime markets on Saturday. We can't tell you which one we do better because we sell it every time we're here. Just take your chance and come down and see us.
My name's Kathleen Cotter. I have an artisan cheese stand here at the Nashville Farmers Market. It's called the Bloomy Rind, and I specialize in handcrafted, all-natural, artisanal cheeses made here in the States only, no imported cheeses. And I also specialize in cheeses of the Southeast and really try to find those smaller producers who aren't as widely distributed, so I tend to have some unique, fun cheeses that you won't find everywhere else. Once a month on Friday nights, we're here at Night Market for just 2 quick hours, but it's just a really fun vibe. It varies a little bit from daytimes when I'm typically here on Saturday mornings. tends to be a little more of the grocery shopping crowd, plus some tourists. So Friday nights, people get off work and they have a glass of wine and they're just in a good mood. And some go ahead and do their grocery shopping, which I think, grocery shopping with a cocktail and some live music, what's better than that, right? Just a little bit different. Both are fabulous, and we're lucky to have a farmer's market like this in town.
Night market is every third Friday night of the month. We try to have a wide selection of vendors, and the customers have been wonderful. They've really embraced the Nashville Farmers Market and Night Market, and they enjoy the food, the variety, the camaraderie that find down here. We have everything from freshly made marshmallows to cheeses, to beer, to wine. You name it, we have it down here.
This is a whole new customer. I mean, I bet every time we've done this, about 60% of people I've talked to have never been to a farmer's market before.
So it's really enjoyable to see Nashville embracing really good, unique, homemade, locally made foods.
My name is Elizabeth Spinelli. My husband Robert Spinelli is our chef, and we have a local business here in Nashville where we do catering, and we've started to jar different items, and we use a lot of local and organic ingredients and really try to focus on more of a fine dining approach. And so we've got some different unique items that we have created for you and that we sell here at the market every Saturday. For instance, we have a balsamic onion marmalade, and we're using local onions that were grown. Or we have pickled green tomatoes that we've bought from local farmers here in Nashville. We also smoke our own bacon. We buy bacon from Wedge Oak Farms, which is in Lebanon, Tennessee, and we smoke it and cure it ourselves. And so there's a lot of, it's a lot of fun to try to meet with different farmers, and it's been a really good experience for us being here in Nashville and being able to meet with the different farmers here at the market and then utilize their products in our own little creations. We've really enjoyed the night market. We've discovered that the night market has almost a different crowd than we see on Saturdays. Saturdays we get a lot of tourists and that sort of thing, as well as some locals. But on Friday nights we find people that really have a true interest in using local ingredients, and more of a foodie, I suppose, someone that really has an interest in what we're doing here and trying to create different flavors and things that we're putting together. So it's going in a good direction.
My name is Dustin Noble. My wife and I own Noble Springs Dairy in Franklin, Tennessee. We own and operate a goat dairy and also a cheese plant and a goat milk bottling plant. So we take the cheese or the milk that we produce on our farm and turn it into artisan cheeses and bottled milk to sell to the general public in the Nashville area. It seems like a lot of people come out, kind of a starting point for the night being a Friday night. They'll come out and have a glass of wine and go around and taste some products, whether it's cheeses or sweets or salsas and things like that. And then after the event, they'll head downtown and go have dinner or go out for the evening. So it's been a great marketing opportunity as well as a good sales opportunity too. We sell some products and we meet new customers, whether it's just the general public or maybe people with the food service industry that may use our products at their restaurant or stores that they may own. So it's been a good experience for us.
And it's really just an event to get the community together, the food and farming community, the crafter community, the Nashville Farmers Market community, and most of all, the Nashville and surrounding areas. It's so exciting to watch people really just discover what farmers markets and special things in Tennessee that we have here that they're not going to find when they go to their kind of big box chain grocery store. So it's been very exciting for us, and they do come back. It just kind of takes once, and then they find a way to come back to the market, and that's been great for everyone.
Since being called the dirtiest city in America by Walter Cronkite in 1969, the city of Chattanooga has worked tirelessly to combat that reputation. Over the last 30 years, the scenic city has experienced a rebirth grounded in a connection with the city's natural beauty. In 2008, an organization called Green Spaces was created to foster regional sustainability and to encourage environmentally responsible building practices. WTCI's Sean Townley gives us a glimpse of Chattanooga's sustainable future.
Green Spaces is an environmental nonprofit primarily focused on the built environment. We really exist to further regional sustainability, and we do that through our programs, education, and advocacy. There was no one really talking about green building, no one practicing green building, and so as we noticed that, we felt there was really a need for a resource center, an educational facility for better building practices. And so Green Spaces really came out of that. It really came out of a lack of education, a lack of knowledge in the city, and we wanted to provide that for Chattanooga. When we originally decided to build a Green Spaces Resource Center, we really wanted it to be a model of everything you could do in regards to green building. We really wanted as much natural light as possible, and so we opened up the entire storefront. We put an overhang out front so that it blocks a lot of the direct sunlight. We didn't have to use high efficiency windows on the lower windows because a lot of that sunlight was being blocked. Most of the times we don't even have to turn on the lights in the space because we have so much natural daylight. We were actually down the street at Architectural Services getting our cabinets made for the kitchen and saw all of these scrap pieces, basically end pieces of sheets of wood that they get in. This is probably a day's worth of scrap material. What we realized was that incentivizing better building practices was the best way to get started, the best way to bring attention to these new ideas and new technologies. We were very lucky to work with the Lyndhurst Foundation in the beginning. The money they gave us, we were able to kind of turn around and give a lot of that away in our incentive program. We've worked with about 30 projects. Blue Cross Blue Shield, 2 North Shore, Outdoor Chattanooga, Crash Pad, Northwest Georgia Bank, 2 fire stations with the city. I think we started working with Austin in 2009 and have really just created a great relationship with Austin.
When we first started looking at the construction of our new administration building, we met with the Green Spaces team and we talked about what it would take to get our building LEED certified. And of course there were many different components to that LEED certification, but as you can see here, we do have a solar project. It's a 56 kilowatt system. It roughly provides electricity for the equivalent of 6 to 7 homes, or it offsets the consumption of 120 barrels of oil. All of the solar panels were manufactured in the state of Tennessee, and then all the construction on this project was completed by local companies. Green Spaces organization committed to providing a level of funding based upon the level of our certification. Without the funding that was initially provided by Green Spaces, this project simply would not have happened.
Green Spaces is a great resource for both developers and contractors in Chattanooga. On this Riverfront Professionals project, the daylighting was important to the occupants of the building, so it was designed to allow a lot of daylight in. If you go into one of the dental offices, you'll see that each chair is surrounded by windows, and that's not a real common thing that you see in a dental facility. This building utilized a special type of solar band glass. It was made as glass, and when it comes back out of the building, it can be used as glass again. It doesn't necessarily have to go to the landfill. The construction of this building is primarily concrete, a regional material. Another thing you'll notice about this building is there are minimal finishes. The floors are simply just stained concrete. When you're building to green standards, whether it just be a better built environment or a LEED environment or just you want to make your building green in general, Green Spaces has been a great resource for us.
We became a nonprofit about a year and a half ago and have expanded our programs. The incentive program isn't needed like it was in the past, and so we've developed some new programs for residential construction.
One of the things that we wanted to create here at Green Spaces was a program for people that are looking to build a new home. So we developed Better Built, and it's a high-performance housing standard for new construction right now. The simplest way to explain it would be that it's almost like a MPG for a car. We use the HERS index for that. Hers is the home energy rating system, and it's a scale from 0 to 500, and with the lower being better. And for better built homes, we require 75 or less, which means at minimum, a better built home is going to perform 25% better than the standard home.
I work closely with builders to ensure that their projects are going smoothly and that they, as they're tracking Better Built certification, that they're meeting everything along the way. We also, in the end, do a final inspection on the house. The main thing is what's called a blower door test, and a blower door test is going to test exactly how tight your house is. So this fan is calibrated to tell us exactly how much air it's pulling out of the house. We can then turn that into a number that is quantifiable, that you can compare to other homes. You know, your father says, you know, you're leaving the barn door open, you know, you're just letting air go right outside that you paid money to condition. So it's a huge energy waste.
We've worked with a lot of new construction, commercial buildings and residential buildings, and we are primarily focused on the built environment, but we really believe that to instill lasting and long-term change in Chattanooga, we really need to change behaviors, the way we live, the way we work, and this only happens through education and advocacy. And so the real and lasting change won't necessarily be in just our buildings, but it'll really be in the way we behave in them.
Dale's Fried Pies started when Dale Mackey began making fried pies for her friends and family in Knoxville. Encouraged by their positive responses, she built a mobile pie stand from which she serves her pies at local farmers markets, fairs, and festivals. East Tennessee PBS's Chris Smith shows us how she uses local ingredients to change her pies seasonally.
My name is Dale Mackey, and I just opened up Dale's Fried Pies, which is a mobile pie stand selling fried pies of all different kinds. For a long time, I've wanted to do sort of a creative food business of my own, and I've always liked food businesses that really perfect one type of food and do it really well. And fried pies were interesting to me, one, because they are a regional sort of local food that a lot of people in the South ate growing up. So there's a lot of nostalgia around it. People have really good memories of them. Of course, they're also delicious. But also because, you know, there's so much room for creativity within them because you can fill them with basically whatever you want. So that kind of combination of things made me interested in them, and then I started cooking them a lot and got really good at it and thought I'd try to make it into a business. I've always enjoyed cooking. I've always enjoyed baking of all different kinds. You know, ever since I was a little kid, my mom really loved to cook as well, and I would, you know, watch her cook, and she made a lot of pies too. And my godmother, who sort of took care of me when I was a little kid instead of me going to daycare, is from Kentucky, and so she would cook a lot of Southern food. I didn't really necessarily realize it was Southern food until I moved to the South, and then I started saying, oh, this is exactly what my godmother made me when I was a little kid. I really like whenever I'm in a place to try to, you know, understand the food traditions and what, you know, what kind of food is available and what kind of food people grew up eating. So it's sort of a natural thing. It seems like every other person that I sell a pie to, their mom or their grandma made fried pies for them when they were little. A lot of people have really positive memories attached to them. People seem to really, really enjoy them and be really intrigued about it. I wanted to do a mobile pie stand because to open up a full brick and mortar restaurant when you've never done that before is quite a large undertaking, and I didn't really have the experience or the capital to do that. So I thought I would start small, sort of see how it went, see where it went and what kind of response I got, and go from there. I considered buying just a regular, you know, outfitted food truck. But again, I really wanted to start as small as possible. I said, what is, you know, the least amount of money really that I can put in and start a business so that, you know, I'm kind of free to do what I want. I'm not hampered by tons of debt right from the beginning. So I found online little plans to make a kids lemonade stand. And so we just took those plans and scaled them up and built what is basically an adult-sized sort of lemonade stand looking thing, and did some modifications so that I could fry the pies on site on the stand, or just, prepare them in a different kitchen and sell them. I've always really enjoyed making things, and I've always really enjoyed, thinking about how things will look. And that was a big fun part about starting this off, is sort of what feel did I want it to have. And I really wanted it to have the feel of like a roadside stand, where you're passing by and you see boiled peanuts or apples, things like that. Well, to make a fried pie, you basically start with pie dough. So I make my own pie dough. You roll it out into a little sort of circle, and then whatever kind of filling you want to use, you put it in there and crimp it shut, and then it's deep fried. So there is a lot of variation in terms of what you can put in the pie. The traditional ones are apple and peach. Those are the ones that most people ask for most of the time. I don't have peach in the wintertime because there aren't good peaches available. You can dry peaches and do it that way, and that's a good way to do it. But I really like to have the pie flavors follow the season. So what's available, what's good, just tastes better in a pie. So in the summertime, there's a lot more sort of berry pies, there's a lot more fresh fruit pies, whereas then in the wintertime, I transition more to, I do a lot of sweet potatoes, there's a lot of that kind of thing available, a lot of pumpkins, squashes, things that are available then. One of the interesting things about having a mobile food business is that you're doing this thing that is very traditional, making these traditional fried pies that people have been eating for years and years and years. But then you're combining it with modern technology to be able to connect with the people who are your customers. Because when you have a mobile food business, you can't say, this is where I am, show it to them on a map, you can always come here, here are the hours. The hours often vary, and where you are really varies. So you have to have a more dynamic way of interacting with people, and sort of an ever-changing way of interacting and connecting with people who want your pies. So I don't do any kind of traditional advertising at all. The only way that people really know about me is word of mouth or from social media. So if I'm going out for an event, I'll post it on Facebook, I'll post it on Twitter, I'll take a picture and put that on Instagram, and try to just let as many people as possible know where I'm going to be that day. But when I get people coming to the stand who say that they are coming to a place just to get the pies, it's always that they've heard about it on some form of social media. So it's really interesting. It's a really different way than a traditional restaurant of being able to connect with people and what's going on. I can post what kind of pies I'll have there that day, so someone can go online and say, no, I don't really want any of those flavors. Oh my gosh, that's my favorite one, so I'm definitely gonna go to where she is right now. I've had people be downtown and look on Twitter, see that I'm right around the corner, and just show up because they happen to be there, which is pretty awesome. Every time I go out, I feel like, I get more people coming by, more people who already know. I get more people who are repeating, they're seeking me out. I am selling as many pies as I can make, or I'm making as many pies. I'm really, at this point, just kind of running to keep up.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of Live Green Tennessee, where we take you all across the state into the farms and businesses of those who are making the move to eating fresh, living sustainably, and helping us all be more organic in our thinking and the way we live our lives as Tennesseans. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time on Live Green Tennessee.
If you would like more information about Live Green Tennessee, please visit our website at livegreentv.org, where you can find everything from healthy recipes to past episodes and more. This program is brought to you in part by...
Behind every Pick Tennessee Products logo is a Tennessee farmer who brings you fresh, local food grown with the kind of pride that gets handed down through generations. From now through fall, you can find Tennessee fruits and vegetables on farms and at farmers markets near you. Find your Tennessee farmers at picktnproducts.org.
What makes our state unique? Find out on the new Tennessee Channel, a statewide initiative by your public television stations. Each program is created in Tennessee, about Tennessee, and broadcast in Tennessee.
The Tennessee Channel, Saturdays 6 to 10 p.m. Eastern and Sundays 2 to 6 p.m. Eastern, right here on your public television station.
Funding for this program is provided in part by the United States Department of Agriculture, providing leadership on food, agriculture, natural resources, and related issues based on sound public policy and efficient management.